You were so young back then. Ah, the nostalgia. Hasn't really been that long, okay? All right. uh, it was first model from Co. I seen first stream. I thought I had the wrong stream. So chat, should we talk about the Nintendo versus Palworld thing? I don't know if there's any new updates specifically about it, but apparently Nintendo plans to ban Palworld has begun apparently. I don't know what this means. I don't know what they mean by like banning. What's Nintendo going to do about it? You know, what's actually Nintendo going to do?
Sometimes my job's really weird. This is an example of that. I cannot.
Oh. Oh.
Sometimes my job's really weird. This is an example of that. I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but there is in fact a slim chance that Grand Theft Auto 5 might save Palworld.
Oh yeah, I heard about this. I heard about that freaking GTA 5 is gonna slap Nintendo apparently with a fucking stack of cash or something.
But here's the actual story, right? When September 18th, 2024 hit, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company dropped a legal bomb on the Palworld developer Pocket Pair, basically patent infringement on game mechanics. That happened, but Pocket Pair then went and did something gutsy. Before any of it hit court, they decided, right, this is clearly David versus Goliath, we need to go public with a statement. Here is the statement that they put out. It is truly unfortunate that we will be forced to allocate significant time to matters unrelated to the game development due to this lawsuit. However, we will do our utmost for our fans and to ensure that indie game developers are not hindered or discouraged from pursuing their creative ideas. And when it all went down, the timing was fascinating. Pocket Pair were actually prepping Palworld's PS5 launch, and Tokyo Game Show was right around the corner. It seemed the perfect time to drop things. The perfect moment, of course, then, for Nintendo to throw in a lawsuit and create chaos everywhere. But it was not enough to stop a crazy successful month for the company, because rather than the expected PS5 reveal at Tokyo Game Show, they shadow dropped it during the PlayStation State of Play presentation. Japan got the game a few days earlier in October, and according to PlayStation's Japan blog, it actually jumped to the top of the downloads. It beat the likes of Dragon Ball Spark.
It beat Metaphor? Damn, that's crazy. I did not know about that. That is actually crazy. People really hate Nintendo. Man, dude, I thought Japan didn't like Palworld. I thought they were such diehard Nintendo fans because of the last video we saw. Damn, that changes everything, to be honest. Palworld, SteamWorld, I guess so.
Zero and Metaphor ReFantazio, which is impressive. Their numbers are massive, especially in Japan. Now, we've been in a whole...
Hey, that's so weird, though. Wait, that is so weird. But I'm like, didn't we just watch a video specifically, like, this one content creator was talking about, like, how bad, like, they were on the side of Nintendo and stuff like that? Huh. No, the whole world. No. The whole world is with Palworld. Japan was against Palworld. That was the video that we discussed about. Huh.
Holding pattern ever since. We've been waiting for something to happen, and that is what brings us to today's developments. It's wild, so get ready.
No one cares about the casual people, Geekbot. Okay? No one cares about the casuals, you know, the tourists that came around saying, oh, you know, they're stealing from blah, 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 blah.
And sit down. Pocket Pair have revealed that Nintendo filed 3 patents in 2024. Of course, that's after...
They weren't even going to play the game anyways. You think it may be the vocal minority is the one complaining in Japan and the rest enjoy? I don't know. That's what makes it a little bit curious, because we saw the video specifically talking that a lot of people were diehard Nintendo fans or like diehard Pokemon fans, you know?
Palworld released, and these patents are all focusing on one specific thing. It's pretty crazy, right? Throwing a ball at a creature to catch it. No battle required, just throw and catch. Now, you might think, how can they patent something after Palworld came out with the mechanic? Well, the problem is Pokemon Legends Arceus. Nintendo had this mechanic in the wild for nearly 2 years before Palworld came out, and in legal terms, you actually don't need to file your patent first. Nintendo just need to prove that they did it first. And these three are not the entire arsenal. A patent expert writing for GameIndustry.biz spotted 28 different patents where Nintendo were alleging infringement, and it's frustrating stuff like running about, transporting your character on a monster. But they're only using these three, and the reason why is simple: Nintendo want to play it smart. These are the ones where they think they can prove that Palworld copied the specific mechanical implementation from Arceus. Now, they've actually found that movement with the US Patent Office is really slow. It actually may not happen over there, but obviously Japan is where both companies are. It's their home turf. Okay, these three patents then are Nintendo's weapon. Now for their objective. Let's get into the numbers, because the Nintendo lawsuit against Palworld is not all that it seems. Now, the initial ask is 5 million yen each for the patents from Pocket Pair, payable to Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, which is a grand total of 65,000 USD. That's an absolutely tiny amount of money, especially compared to another Nintendo victim,
Only 65,000? That's it? Wow, that is so... doesn't make any sense. You expect them, you can't expect them to take a lot more. Only 65? Only 65K? I was expecting, like, I don't know, maybe in the millions or something.
Where basically they ended with a settlement that was worth 30 million and then ongoing licensing fees. Absolutely brutal, which fits. Nintendo's legal team, especially in their home turf, are basically renowned absolute legal assassins. They tend to win all the time. Now, that 65 grand is obviously just an opening move in what is obviously a sort of lawfare thing, right? It's corporate chess. Nintendo's not really going after that pocket change. They're playing a longer game here, and it's not just to bury the company in legal fees, though it is absolutely also that. Let's take a look at the patents to understand how Nintendo have operated here. So yeah, they actually did file these patents after Palworld launch, but they're in fact derived from a December 2021 patent, and they've basically tailored things for this situation. And an IP attorney called Kirk Sigmund spoke to PC Gamer and explained that this is actually standard practice, where companies will have an existing patent, but then they'll refine it to close loopholes. But of course, the timing matters, and in this case, it really does look like Nintendo was preparing their battleground. So here's the brutal part, and well, here's it in Kirk's own words. Your general attorneys cannot do this sort of work. You've got to find specialists. It gets extremely expensive and time-consuming, and it can wear a lot of small companies out. It is designed to make you no longer play the game. So in other words, you either give in or you sign yourself up for a legal battle that you don't even know if you can afford. But of course, you probably guessed it's not just that. Nintendo's real legal objective here is almost certainly to get an injunction. This would prevent Palworld from being sold whilst it's in breach of those patents. And either way, it's all aimed at sowing chaos. And here's the reason why. Palworld could change the mechanic, right, to no longer be in breach of the patent. That would obviously take game development time, and it would risk player sentiment because they know the game as it is, they like it as it is, and if they just have to come up with a new mechanic to replace catching your pals, well, players may not like that. And the real risk here is time, because they would be incentivized to fix this problem and replace the mechanic as soon as is possible. Now, of course, if you want the mechanic to be good, to be well play tested, you will take your time and get it right. But if you're in breach, if there's an injunction, you can't really afford to do that because it's blocking your game from sale. Or of course, you could give in, and you could agree to license the patent from Nintendo. But the message, as Kirk puts it, is clear. Quote, "For them, this is a massive target they need to declare. Don't do this to us ever again." One could speculate they'd probably do the same thing to any company that came too close to the main line, especially when they perceived it to possibly infringe their IP. That's what Kirk said. And this is absolutely Nintendo sending a warning shot across the bow of the entire industry. It is them hitting Pocket Pair right when they are trying to seize their opportunity. And that includes things like, yes, the PlayStation relationship, but also plans that could see their IP be expanded, just like Pokemon was. And I think that is the real thing that Nintendo are worried about here. Palworld is scrappy, right? And I think we all know that it is taking commonly appreciated elements from all over the place and putting them into something. And Nintendo are probably realizing, this could be a little bit of a problem because.
But it's better than Pokemon, to be honest. You know, it's their twist, but it's definitely better than Pokemon. I'll be very honest with you. I had so much fun playing this game.
We've basically sat on top of Pokemon. We've done a pretty bad job, all things considered, Pokemon Company as well, for years and years and years and years. What if somebody else is actually able to fight us by making a better Pokemon-like experience? I think that is why Nintendo are trying to do what they do. But I did say there's more than that, and I mentioned Grand Theft Auto. I didn't think Grand Theft Auto would be involved, but kind of is. So this is
what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the Grand Theft Auto situation itself.
Nintendo locking things down on their home turf, but it probably won't have that much impact on the broader industry, the global industry, if Nintendo cannot get the American patent system to agree with them, and at the very least we know that's been a way slower process. But, of course, the principle here is an important thing, and there's actually a long shot that was proposed by a patent attorney in Nikkei Business. This is absolutely amazing, and I love it. They pointed out that while Nintendo's patents for catching monsters in an open field, might have been filed as far back as December 2021, and it's like, first incarnation, well, they may not actually have the first instance of that mechanic, and that.
Are you telling me GTA is the one that did it first?
That's because of this. This, everybody, is Pokemon Go in Grand Theft Auto 5, done 8 years ago in 2016. Now, remember, how precedence in the actual market with the product, well, that means that Arceus would trump Palworld in terms of filing those patents. Well, as is put here in Nikkei Business, this would mean that because of this mod for GTA, there is an established usage that basically would mean Nintendo shouldn't have been able to file their patent because they didn't create the mechanics, because it was inspired by Pokemon Go, but it was different, and it was there in a GTA mod. It was there in the market. And that means that Pokemon and guns may save the game with Pokemon and guns, which is...
Oh, that's interesting. Wow. I didn't even know. Like, I knew there was mods, right? But I didn't know they made a mod like this for GTA.
Which is absolutely insane. But okay. A wild story, and to be honest with you, I really hope Nintendo lose here. Patenting game mechanics is risky business, and one of the worst examples we saw of that was the Lord of the Rings Shadow of...
Yes, finally, someone's talking about this. I was like, I always bring this up all the time because doing patents on game mechanics is terrible. It's terrible for the industry. It's terrible for business. It's just terrible all around. It's never a good thing.
Of Mordor and Shadow of War series. They're pretty good games. The second one quite a bit less because they tried to ruin that with monetization, but the amazing thing was the Nemesis system. The problem is, the Nemesis system was patented such that if you do something with a Nemesis system-like thing, and look, if it's an indie, sure, they'll probably not notice, but maybe if it gets noticed enough, Warner Brothers games will just be able to take you to court. And I don't think any of us can really, afford to battle with Warner Brothers as bloody lawyers. Yeah, this stuff sucks. Good luck to them. That's it for this video. And for more news, check this one out next.
That's interesting. Huh. You know, at the end of the day, right, I still want freaking Nintendo to lose. I'll be honest with you. I still want Nintendo to lose. Also, there was a gadget system in Craftopia. When did they added that, though? When did they add the catching system? I hope so. That would be pretty interesting. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Huh. Like I said, personally, I'd rather have, I'd rather have Palworld to win. compared to Nintendo. Nintendo feels like they're like that type of kid or it's just kind of like bullying the lesser person, you know, just because they did a better job than they could, because they weren't scared of like, you know, experimenting with the idea of creature collecting. Because like if they patent like that game mechanic, that means all the indie games that have that specific mechanic where you throw an object at a creature in a specific room, then those games would be ceased to exist. And it's definitely something. It's definitely something. Nintendo wasn't the same. In 2020, 2021, then how long was the patent for that mechanic for Nintendo again? I forgot. Yeah, any like future games that are being developed, and then any games in the past are completely going to get obliterated because they have the same mechanic. They literally have the same mechanic, where you know, throw a ball at a creature, and then you capture it, and that's pretty much about it. Anyways, that's interesting. GTA. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff, and yeah. Just kind of thinking about this actually. What a very interesting video. I never knew that. I never knew that the GTA thing. Who knows? It could actually work. It could actually work. Could be. But anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video. And I'm really hoping Palworld wins. That's all I really care about the most, is that Palworld wins. But yeah, that's the end of the video. And